Hi there, here to sing the praises of the keeper. So I first got into menstrual cup usage in my senior year of college, and I had thought about it for a while. My friend was like really into it. She was a women's studies major, and she said she's like was never gonna go back to tampons or pads or anything. And I mean, me being like kind of a crazy, like, well, not crazy, but fairly moderate environmentalist and feminist, says like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So I went to the store, and I think there were like 3 different types of cups available at the store. One was the traditional like diva cup, which is what everyone thinks of when they hear menstrual cups. One was the moon cup, I think. I don't know, they might have had soft cups, but I wasn't really interested in those. And then one was the keeper, which is what I have. And the reason I went with the keeper was because it's USA made, and I don't know, I kind of felt, I was like, okay, USA, let's go. But I was a little nervous at first because, as you can see, it's brown. It's not see-through, and it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't look as pretty as the Diva cup, but it is really great. I'm trying to, for those of you who haven't used it before, I'm trying to kind of like explain what it feels like. You can probably hear it squeaking. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's like a plunger, but it is. It kind of is like a plunger. But that shouldn't let you, or it shouldn't dissuade you from using one. Because once you get the hang of it, it's like you're wearing absolutely nothing. And I mean, on light days, I could leave it in like the whole day and it'll be fine. That being said, it did take me a really long time to get used to it. And I think what the problem is that in the directions they give you really bad folds to put it in. So just a few things before I get into folds. Number one is they do say that if the tail bothers you, you can do 2 things. You can turn it inside out, which I wouldn't recommend because it's like, I mean, even for me, and I have no problems digging around up there, even for me, it's like really hard to get this out without the tail. Plus it has all these ridges, and they don't like really hurt, but it's kind of weird like getting in. So the second thing you can do if you don't like the tail is clip it off. And to be honest, I would just say keep the tail on. If I ever get a new, like a new one, I'm not going to clip the tail off, and here's why. When I did snip the tail off, it was, I didn't realize it, but at first like where I clipped was like very jagged, and there were like sharp points on the rubber. So I was like walking around, it was really irritating. And I was like, what am I going to do about this? I just spent $30 on a cup. And I completely ruined it by clipping off, the tail. So what I did do is I looked online, and someone said that they had luck sandpapering the end, which I did, and it's been fine ever since. But if you don't have sandpaper, which I didn't at college, it's really irritating. It's just like, I don't know, the nib at first is kind of weird because you're like, wow, there's like this thing kind of hanging out, but I mean, it's really no worse than a string. And if you have like that kind of, if you have like a bigger vagina, then it can probably fit all the way up, but I just couldn't get it all the way up at first. Having a little tail nub on, like everyone who I read like recommended keeping a little bit of a nib on because it helps like pull it out. And let's see what else. Oh, okay. In